Pretty much in my teenage years, up until my early 20s, I was a skinhead, anti-racist skinhead. So I know a lot of people get stereotypes around that idea. However, there is still violence. It is a very violent movement, and with that, people are fighting among each other. Not just that, but also racist people who are racist. So there's a big tension there. I still relate to that experience a lot. It's definitely taught me a lot. It's given me a level of understanding that I think a lot of my peers don't have, and I'm grateful for that, actually. And to be alive.
Yeah. Well, since you may be one of the few people in this classroom who've seen like actual man-on-man violence.
I've not just seen it, I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think? What do you think needs to be done? Do we need to be renting tables and handing out brochures, or ranting on the internet, or
right?
Or what physical things can we do?
Yeah. What kind of things can be done to mitigate or reduce violence? That's a tricky question. I don't think this is the answer, but it's part of the solution. So I think a combination of things are necessary, both the on various levels. So this would be probably a more peaceful way of counteracting violence itself. But I think in terms of violent extremism, if I can touch on that idea, it's more of an idea, just that. And it's not necessarily the actual act of violence. So it may include things like recruiting people to partake in, organizations or gangs or whatever. So it's actually a pathway or a message that grabs people and sucks them into something that they can feel they believe in or be a part of. So with that, there is, violence. That's the realm of violence at that point. And within that realm, I think, tabling is a great thing, promoting awareness through education and getting, I think, targeting youth for positive messages would be a good thing, because then we can kind of, reverse the trends that way. But not to say it's violent, but as I said before, a combination of things. So peaceful protests, and personally I believe in direct action. I think there's a medium where they can work together, where you're not harming people and promoting good in the world.
Well, if you could take your adult self back in time to that place where you were as a teenager, and what would you do for him?
Can you repeat?
If you could take your adult self as you are now, with all your experience and everything, back to that place where you were as a teenager, and meet yourself, what would you do for it?
It's hard to say what I would do if my present self going back to my old self, because I don't regret what I've done. I may have in the past, but you grow to accept it, and through acceptance you forgive and you understand and you love. And I think it was a necessary process for me, just based on the life I was given, and I made the best of what I had. So if I could go back though, I would definitely try to be a source of inspiration for those that are caught in the hustle or caught in a trap, so to speak, and show them that there are alternatives to finding love and sense of belonging, sense of community, all the things that really foster a good environment and a good community, so that they don't have to travel down that path and maybe not have a life that they could be granted if they were to not be a part of that.